Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our third and most likely final installment of our Matrix themed shows. We have been working on these pretty differently than what you're used to in the past. I know it's been about a year since we had an in-person show, everybody, and a theater show, which is what we're all used to. So this is definitely still new. It's been about 9 months since we have been outside the studio and have been doing things a little differently. However, I'm super grateful that we still have people who are supporting the studio. I know the instructors are as well. And we get to see a new type of creativity from everyone, which is very exciting, along with our dances. So in this show, it's going to be a little different than the last two. You'll see, of course, the performances. We'll have performances from our fall term, and we're going to have a couple of guests in there as well. Along with that, we're going to get updated on how some of our instructors, staff, and maybe a little guest appearance. So you'll see some in-depth conversations with people as well. So I'm super excited about this show. It's definitely a little bit different. Of course, different is the new normal. We are always trying different things and seeing what works, what doesn't work. And that's been the general consensus for the last 9 months. So just know that we do miss being in person with you, but we're also so grateful that you still find time to dance with us, because I feel it's really important to keep that community alive, and you help support the community, and we're all very, very grateful at Bedouin Beats. So without further ado, let us enter the Matrix once more.
That's what I am. That's what I am. No one calls you honey when you're sitting on a throne. No one calls you honey when you're sitting on a throne. Beware the patient woman, 'cause this much I know. No one calls you honey when you're sitting on a throne. One of these days are coming, I'm gonna take that boy's crown. There's a serpent in these still waters, lying deep down. To that king I will bow, at least for now. One of these days are coming, I'm gonna take that boy's crown. 'Cause I am a little wicked. I am, but I am. Hands raised, just like it said. I am a little wicked. No one calls you honey when you're sitting on the throne. I'll be high up in that tower, he'll be down there getting stoned. Beware the patient woman, 'cause this much I know. No one calls you honey when you're sitting on the throne. 'Cause I am a little wicked. I am. Hands raised, just like you said. I am a little wicked. As I lay me down to sleep, I will not scream, I will not weep. If he should die before he wakes, I pray the Lord his soul to take. 'Cause I am a little wicked. I am, yes I am. Hands raised, just like you said. I am a little wicked. No one calls you honey when you're sitting on a throne. No one calls you honey when you're sitting on a throne.
Hi, Kelly. How are you?
Hi, Michelle. I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
Doing good. So we have a little catch up to do with everybody. So I wanted to ask you, how have things changed for you since COVID with regards to your teaching?
COVID changed quite a few things for teaching. We had to adapt rather quickly to teaching online. So it was a crash course in learning how to work Zoom, how to get the music to play so that students could hear it. There were those. And there was also definitely learning you have to break things down more verbally, because before you could just walk over to someone and, tap them and say, okay, use this muscle. And now you just kind of have to, through there, going, okay, it's my left, your left. Yeah.
A little more of a challenge.
Yes. Yeah. More talking it through instead of, here, just do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you consider the pros and cons of teaching online? Hopefully,
pros and cons. Pros for me is because you teach wherever now. I've been teaching out of my parents' basement right now because there's more room, right? And things like that. Like my condo, like I said too, I don't know how loud I can get before my neighbors will be like, what is happening? So there's pros for that. It's just I just have to be here, and there we go. Don't have to drive to the studio and back and everything else. And pros are also, some people are more interested in taking the class because they can do it from their home. There's a pro for that too. And like, again, we can be worldwide now, right? You can take in Egypt, you could take classes. Someone in Egypt can take classes from us, right? So there's pros for that. The cons is definitely that loss of interaction, like one-on-one interaction, right? Like either before the class, you'd always be chatting, or after the class as you're going out to your cars together. You're kind of missing that interaction.
I'm curious, are you drinking anything this evening?
I am. I think everyone that's taken my classroom knows I have a little bit of a Starbucks addiction.
Do you?
I do. It's Starbucks and it's a chai latte. It's kind of both addiction.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm drinking hot chocolate out of my mermaid cup
Mermaid
that I
cup.
got from the lovely Holly,
Nice.
I think last Christmas.
I think so. Last time we got to get together and have a recital.
It was the last
Yeah.
time we got together, I believe, was a year ago on the day that we were doing this interview.
Yes.
So, yeah, last time we had an actual show, in-person show. We'll get there again.
Yeah.
It's our hope is we'll get there again. Maybe just a little bit different, but that's
Yes,
okay.
exactly. One
Yeah.
day.
So I guess I would wrap things up by saying, how have you been passing your time?
I've been still working full time from the office. I work in accounting, and apparently that's a essential service. Who
Yeah.
knew? But someone has to be there to deposit the checks and things like that. So
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of that. And I've always loved reading, so I'm just even more reading.
That's good that you're working and still teaching, and
Yes.
I know
Yep.
that the students appreciate you as well. So
Yeah.
I
Thank
appreciate you.
you.
Yeah.
Or-
Well, thank you for catching up. I appreciate
Of
it. And
course.
I'm always glad to share what you're up to with the students. I know everybody's enjoying the show right now and
Oh,
loving it. And
yeah.
now we've got these little impromptus added in as well.
Yes.
Okay, enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too. Good to see you.
You too.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
وانتي وهالرومية ظالمة يا نسمح في ولادي هذا المكتوب ما فهمتي ما درتي والو واه الرومية يا نسهر الليالي هذا المكتوب ما شفقتي ما حنيتي واه الرومية يا ليلي يا ليلي مع عيونك عربية يا ليلي يا ليلي مع زين السيرية يا ليلي يا ليلي مع عيونك عربية يا ليلي يا ليلي مع زين السيرية يا ليلي يا ليلي مع زين السيرية يا ليلي يا ليلي مع
Who else's hands and just your everything is just tense from just constantly manning those guns, fighting off all the ancient smiths? It's not good. So, as there's always time during war for relaxation and meditation, we're gonna try and bring ourselves back into a relaxed state. We're gonna get those tense hands. And again, you can close your eyes or you can keep them open this time. And I want you to imagine your hands as dried out sponges. They're small, they're dry, they're hard. And then I want you to imagine the water flowing into these sponges, your hand sponges. They're going to expand, they're going to soften. They're going to be able to breathe. And maybe squeeze the water out of those sponges with your fingers, and then let the water fill the sponge back up again. Squeeze and let the water float in. If you'd prefer something stronger than water, filling up your hand sponges, please do. Vodka works just as well. Tea. A refreshing glass of Tang. And once your hands feel relaxed and open, I'll get you to wiggle them out a bit and bring your attention down to those poor feet. So you're going to grab onto your foot, not the way I am. You can just grab on regularly to your foot. You don't have to show it in a camera. And I want you to take one hand and place it over the top of the foot, and the other hand and place it over the bottom of the foot. And I want you to twist both halves of your foot away from each other with your hand. And you can twist both ways. Just twist them away so that your foot is opening up. I personally prefer to open the top out and the heel in, but that's just me. That gives me the most release. But it may just be because my foot is in a very weird spot. And grab onto the other foot and do the same thing. And twist in opposite directions. Place those lovely massaged feet on the floor and stand yourself up. understand that everyone's going to need some refreshments before the next bout. So before that happens, stand up and visualize your feet as being inflatable river rafts on a wild river. And feel how just like a river raft, just like those inflatable river rafts going down a whitewater river, your feet adjust to every wave, adjust to every rock and twig, and can keep you balanced no matter what the terrain. And on these adaptable and awesome feet, go carry yourself to your kitchens. Grab yourself a beverage of your choice, and then return to the Matrix.
Stole from your pockets and yes I lied. What did you want me to do? I don't know my name and I don't care for friends. How can I take care of you? The stars left, the morning came. You know I'm just a good time girl. Leaving you lonely, I don't care at all. No, I can't be good for you. I'll become wary, you won't get to know me, but what you receive will be pure. I give you small doses cause my heart's been wasted and I can't belong anymore. It's closing time and aftermath, this heartache's been coming on slow. Warm and he's curling, our lips are enfolding, cold on my chest as he falls. By judgments and wisdom, come to my lap, be a man. I'm off the breast and I'm learning to hunt Reggiani, yeah, he'd understand. Be bold, but don't fight me, and don't try to move me now. No need for romance to wake up the dormant, the seasons are coming around. Stole from your pockets and yes I lied. What did you want me to do? I don't know my name and I don't care for friends. How can I take care of you? The stars left, the morning came. You know I'm just a good time girl. Leaving you lonely, I don't care at all. No, I can't be good for you. I'll become wary, you won't get to know me, but what you receive will be pure. I give you small doses cause my heart's been wasted and I can't belong anymore. It's closing time and aftermath, this heartache's been coming on slow. Warm and he's curling, our lips are enfolding, cold on my chest as he falls.
Hey, Teresa, thanks for dropping by. It's good to see you in this crazy new way of life that we have now with living, and things are going well with you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So good, yeah.
Well, I wanted to get in touch with you to check in and catch up because I'm sure the people who always saw you at the store would like to know what you've been up to. So, yeah, I just wanted to know, now that there's no physical location, no store and studio, how have you been passing your time?
Oh boy. Well, I'm still working with the doggies. Recently we were still teaching classes, which was good. And now we're not because we can't. um, I've been working with my own dogs. I've been treadmill training them. That's been going pretty good.
That sounds challenging. Good for you.
It can be. It can
Yeah.
be very interesting. But yeah, other than that, just still doing the social media for bars, and that's about it.
So I did ask everybody to bring a beverage of choice, what their maybe their favorite or one of their favorite beverages might be. And I'm curious, what is yours?
Well, this is actually peanut butter whiskey.
Oh,
Yep, I get that a lot. I actually heard of it from an Instagram account I follow, and I'm like, well, I like peanut butter and I like whiskey, so let's try it. They don't sell it in Canada, so I bought it last year at Reunion. It's called Reunion.
yeah.
Yeah. um, and yeah, I say get some.
Get some? Yeah.
Well, Hamish likes to drink with me too. He made an appearance on the bottle, so you know.
What are some of the good things that have come out of this the new changes we have?
I think it's forced us to become more aware of our connection with people, because I think all the time it's easy to be like, oh, I'm busy, I'll call them tomorrow, or oh, I'm so busy, I'll text them, or I'll see them in a week or whatever. And now it's like, well, you can't. So you have to like consciously make effort to actually talk to people online, obviously, I mean, or farther away. But I think it forces us to kind of be connected and conscious of being in touch with people in our lives versus, it's just, I'll just send them a Facebook message tomorrow or whatever, like we used to do. And now you kind of have to be. And I think it kind of forced us to be more creative with things in terms of how we're doing things, what we're doing. I know with dance, I think there was things that we could, yeah, I mean, as much as I so miss the in-person shows and stuff like that, it's forcing everybody to be more creative in what they're doing. Like things you can do video-wise, you can't necessarily do on a stage.
100% true. Yes. So I guess I would ask then, how are you keeping involved with dance? Or art?
Um, Mostly I've tried. It's been a little tough this last term, but with the online classes have been fabulous because you still kind of feel that connection with people, even though you can't physically dance with them, you're still able to see them and participate together. So I've been trying to keep up. If I haven't been able to actually dance just because of, not feeling good or whatever, I can still watch and participate and learn that way and keep up that way, which has been really nice.
Well, that's very cool. I guess we will wrap it up. I'm really excited to be able to let people know what you're up to because I know they're so used to seeing your face, and I'm glad you're doing well and keeping busy, and I'm sure that everybody's happy to hear what you're up to as well.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear what everybody else is up to and what they're doing with all of this newness.
Thank you for dropping in and for updating everybody. And I know everybody is enjoying the show right now as they're watching this little interview in between performances. So yeah, I guess we'll see where everything goes, and hopefully we'll be dancing together soon.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Teresa.
Thank you.
to the other girls to play. For I've been a temptress too long. Just give me a reason to love you. Give me a reason to be a woman. I just wanna be a woman. From this time unchained, we're all looking at a different picture through this new frame of mind. 1,000 flowers could bloom. Move over and give us some room, yes. Give me a reason to love you. Give me a reason to be a woman. I just wanna be a woman. So don't you stop being a man. Just taking a look from outside when you can. So a little tenderness, no matter if you cry. Give me a reason to love you. Give me a reason to be a woman. I just wanna be a woman. All I want to be is a woman. This is the beginning of forever and ever. It's time to move on. I wanna be. I'm so tired of playing with this bow and arrow. Gonna give my heart away, leave it to the other girls to play.
Hey guys, it's so good to see you. I'm so glad that we can catch up. How have you been?
Hey, Michelle.
Good.
Good. Staying busy. I wanted to get everybody at the show caught up with you guys because it's been quite a while. We haven't had an actual in-person show in about a year, which is kind of crazy to think of. And we haven't really been together in quite a few months. So I thought that people would be very interested to hear what you guys have been up to. So I thought we would start by asking you how this COVID thing has changed your teaching.
Well, in the very beginning, we were still allowed to be
somewhat together. And so Karen and I were able to utilize the studio, and we did the lessons live over Zoom, as you know. And now I'm teaching from my home in my living room. I move the furniture around. I bought some big mirrors. I traded for some big mirrors, and oftentimes the dogs are with me.
Awesome. How about you, Colleen?
Yeah, I've been teaching from home since the beginning, and it has been a bit of a challenge, not the teaching part, but the technology part, just because I live in a rural area with pretty limited internet service. So there's been times where Karen and Amy have had to rescue me as I freeze in the middle of drills or I can't finish off class. But so technology notwithstanding, though, it's been really interesting and fun to use Zoom in some ways and the breakout rooms and try some things like that. And the students have been great and really understanding. So I really do appreciate that they've been coming every week, dancing in their own living rooms and being really just easygoing about technology. So we certainly appreciate that.
And Karen.
I don't know. I found the switch to dancing at home really hard, really hard. I dance in my living room, hardwood, so that's a good thing. And I hated it beyond belief until I figured out I could hook my iPad up to the TV so that people are bigger than this. And I can see things now. So that's gotten much better, much better.
So I'm curious, what would be, if you were to say the pros and cons? We've heard a couple of them. Are there others that you can kind of think of?
I don't have to go out and sweep my car before and after.
Yeah, I'm rarely late for class. I if ever. And sometimes when I'm getting everyone to drill, I just turn off my camera and I finish eating supper. So that's nice.
Colleen, do you find any extra pros to teaching online?
Well, yeah, it is nice just to be able to walk downstairs so you can actually have a meal and then walk downstairs and get ready. And I find I've forced myself to be even more organized for class, just because you can't just have people off doing drills sometimes because it's just a different vibe. You can't group people necessarily in the same way. So Karen knows and Amy know I'm pretty obsessive about having a class plan. So I feel good about having that ready to go.
I feel that's something that
well
has changed from in person to online. You guys have always been very good with planning your classes. So how have you been passing your time otherwise?
Napping.
Amy, how do you pass your time?
My husband and I play a lot of games, but we started doing that this year as a new thing for us. We just started playing games every day. We play game every day at lunch. I'm also working my regular job at home, and he's also home. And then we play a game before or after or during supper. And I really love that. It's a really nice kind of new connection for us, for two people who have been together for 13 years. It's nice to have something new to do together.
Colleen, how are you passing your time besides wearing these festive clothing?
Well, I'm working from home too, so I spend a lot of time at home. So actually, it's been really nice. I take a lot of walks with my dogs, which they love, and yeah, we've been watching a lot of Netflix. I've been doing a lot of cooking at home. We don't eat out very much at all, and yeah, I've been playing Sudoku.
Nice. All right, so you keep your brains going then. That's good. So I've noticed everybody, and I kind of asked if everybody would bring a beverage of choice. I have my honey lemon tea here. It's in a small cup. And I'm curious what the rest of you are drinking.
Cheers.
Cheers. Amy, what do you have in your cup?
I have Captain Morgan's rum and light eggnog.
Nice.
It's not light because I diet. I don't diet, but it goes down smoother.
Not as thick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Colleen, what is in your awesome cup? Or is that
I have a Stiegl Radler. Yeah, I have a Stiegl Radler in a can with a beautiful, joyous a festive Christmas sweater.
Of course you do. Karen, what is happening in this cup?
It is ginger ale with my mom's cherry vodka in it.
Oh, homemade cherry vodka. Fancy. Awesome. Well, it was really good to catch up with you guys. I wanted to make sure that the whole world, which is watching the show right now, would be able to get a little update and find out what you've been up to, aside from obviously taking all of your classes, because you guys are incredible. Well, take care, guys. Stay safe. Enjoy the holidays, and we will hopefully see all the people who are watching very soon.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Good to see you.
All right, everyone, whether we took the blue pill or the red pill, the most essential thing is that we keep moving. So you're all gonna stand, and I want you to think about a light, a beam of light coming from the top of your head. And I want that beam of light to be directly above your head. Notice if it's too far forward, if it's tilted. Let that beam of light from the top of your head go right to the ceiling above. Excellent. And then I want you to think about, you've got this lovely long back. I want you to think about having this heavy tail, a heavy kangaroo or lizard tail that extends down from your lower back and hits the floor. It's strong, it's versatile, it's heavy. It can balance you. Try picking up one foot and knowing you have a tail and another leg to support you. Pick up the other foot, and that tail and the other leg are there to support you. The tail can also be used for fun things like turning. So I want you to take that tail and it's going to swish to one side, bringing you slightly with it as a prep. And then it preps you, it's revving that engine, and then it's going to turn you in the opposite direction. The tail revs one direction and then whoosh, spins you around. Prep and spin. Prep and spin. All right, so you have a nice long spine. You've got a balancing tail. We're going to do one tiny bit of movement and then another longer set of movement. You're going to dance around or move around the room as though you just smelled the worst smell. Cat pee is my go-to. And I want you to feel how you move through the room when you think that you're smelling something terrible. Where your shoulders are, where your head is. Don't spend too long there, because now we're going to move like you've just smelled the best smell in the world. You're inhaling melted cheese or barbecue or lilacs or chocolate, whatever it is, jasmine, whatever it is that is your favorite smell. As you move around, your own space and celebrate your own reality with the best smell in the world.
Hey,
Hello! It's so good to see you, Saskia. I'm so glad you were able to jump on and say hi and catch up a bit.
anytime.
So, yeah, I just wanted to touch base with our instructors and our staff and see how everybody's doing, because I know the people who are watching this show right now are wanting to know what you've been up to, how things are going with you with all these changes.
I feel deeply blessed to have my own home studio. It's been a sanctuary. So I've always had this space that there's a little backdrop that I can play in. And I have to say, it's been a great place just to come and decompress, Pilates, yoga, dance, cry. Like all these things have happened here. And then I'm a genuine Luddite. So it's been, and I think a lot of us are, because we want to be in a physical space with other people. We're not necessarily going for tech, right? So it's definitely been a lot of work, and I think I can speak for most of us instructors on figuring out like what's our lighting, what's especially going into winter, what's our microphone situation, what's the best music, and then also how can we best bring that information to people. I find that a lot of people really over capacity by the end of their workday when they've been reliant on Zoom meetings, particularly for work or digital, or they have kids. So making those resources available to them afterwards has also been just an adjustment of what platform. So yeah, I'm so used to rolling into the studio, having a chat with my girl, Michelle, and, and then just going riding in, doing my class, be able to like correct people like right on the spot and in person and have those good laughs. And everyone knows I'm a bit of a goofball. So if you don't, then now you know. And then having a good chat with Michelle on the way out, right? If she's around. Yeah. So yeah, we don't have that. Being patient and being adaptive, and we appreciate so much all of our students who have come along with us. I have so many new faces in my classes that I did not expect. I don't know what I expected. I don't know what we expected from them. Right? But it's been that we're all learning together, and we're all, I think, patient with each other. And yeah, there are different considerations teaching online, for sure.
But what are maybe a couple of extra maybe pros to teaching online versus teaching in the studio?
Oh my gosh, I had students that I hadn't taught for probably a decade join me from BC. I had a dancer that I respect highly in the community join me from Whitehorse. The gates are open. It's a new world out there. There's global reach. We can study with whoever. But I'm really I'm so grateful for the people that continue to support Bedouin Beats and are choosing to come to us.
So I guess I would be curious, and I'm sure the people watching as well will be curious as to how else you're spending your time. How are you passing your time through all of this?
So just kind of a few months before this hit, I took on a new role for an organization I have incredible admiration for and a long relationship with as a fund developer. And one to make special projects, and then COVID hit, anyway. So needless to say, there's been a lot of hours put in the office, keeping in a really amazing not-for-profit going, Alberta Craft Council. And they're an incredible organization. Anyway, but I'm happy to be working. I'm happy for that privilege, especially right now. I am so happy then to connect with dancers and be able to move. They inspire me, and I hope I inspire them back on a weekly basis. So that's been a gift to be able to continue to do that. I've learned to embrace Zoom with my friends. And just doing as much creative and fun things as we can, and kind of letting the other stuff fall away for a moment. It yeah. Do what you can, and don't beat yourself up about the stuff you can't get to right now.
Exactly.
All in the same space. And if you can, move. If you can do 5 minutes of yoga, if you can do 5 minutes of shimmies, if you can jump on an online class, do what makes you feel happy, and don't forget to connect with your community in whatever fashion you're capable of doing.
So I just noticed you're having a little sippy, and I've been asking people, what their beverage of choice was for the evening. I'm drinking tea.
Well, I have so this is a Negroni. I'm about a third through, and I have to mention. So this is from a glassblower out of Calgary. Her name is Bonnie Houston. She's part of the community there for a long time, and this is her coronavirus series, especially made for the pandemic. Doesn't come with COVID, but it's just I feel like it's very apropos to have a little cocktail in the end of the evening. And the other one is because Michelle and I are both the tea drinkers. I've got some tea. I always have herbal tea. You know me. I'm always carrying a mug in class with a big splash of herbal tea. Yeah.
Perfect. Excellent. Well, I'm so glad we were able to catch up and able to share with the people who are watching the show what you've been up to. And everybody, I know people appreciate that you're still teaching and you're able to offer your skills for people to use it to get through this craziness that we're going through now. So I am appreciative for you and for the students and everything that we're able to continue to provide, even though it's not in person. We still have our little ways.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. And I guess we will let people get to the rest of the show, wherever we happen to be. We'll find out.
Thank you.
And enjoy your holidays and stay safe, stay healthy.
And can I just say thank you, Michelle, for all that you have done for keeping Bedouin Beats going. Thank you.
All worth it just to see everybody so happy. Thank you for being such a big part.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you. Hey, Nika,
Hi.
so good to see you. I
Oh
haven't
my,
seen you in a while. I feel like people probably miss seeing you at the store when they come in and your wonderful face and so welcoming. And so I'm wondering how things are with you.
lots of work, trying to be good at self-care, which I'm not stellar at, but I'm trying. So, uh, I got a bunch of grow lights for my plants, which is really lovely, and they're in my dance space, so that's inviting me to go in there a little bit more often.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love
Yeah.
that. You're also keeping a little busy with your creativity, making things.
I am, yeah, I started a small business. So I've been doing some sewing and just creating and trying to get like that creative outlet because I spent so much time in the analytical brain that I'm like, I miss the thing where it's not imperative what I'm doing.
Yes. So if people were curious as to where they might find some of the most beautiful lace masks and other types of masks, what would they look for on Facebook?
On Facebook, I'm under Nostalgic Revere. I also have an Instagram and an Etsy page. So just Nostalgic Reveur, which is French for dreamer.
It's a good time to support small businesses. That's what I think. So yes.
Agreed.
Yeah. So what would you say would be the good things that have come out of COVID for you?
I mean, I got COVID cats, so that's great. I actually acquired a couple pets. I also got a COVID snake, kind of surprisingly. So lots of animals have come into my life, which is really great. I think I'm cooking more. Lots of food, all the food. Yes, comfort eating is a thing. But also trying to go for more walks because we've been spending so much time like indoors on computers and trying to stay in touch with people that way. So I've been really trying to make sure that I go outside whenever it's nice and take in some of that nature. Try to keep up with dance because that also is really good for my brain. And
Yes.
yeah,
I was
connecting.
going to ask that. How are you staying interactive with your dance life?
I am taking some classes with Bedouin.
Hmm.
I also have some subscription services that I'll use from time to time.
So I had asked everybody to bring a beverage of choice, and I'm curious. I've been drinking tea for most of the evening. I'm curious what you decided to bring for you.
Well, I have two beside me, so this is the one that I keep with me at all
Oh,
times.
yay.
But the other choice is red wine.
Red wine. Red wine from, is that a metal goblet?
It is, yeah. It's
Ah.
from India.
Well, I appreciate you catching up with us and letting everybody know what the lovely Nika has been up to during all the crazy lockdowns and shut-ins and everything we've been going through. It's awesome to see that you're keeping busy and keeping creative. That's also very important.
Fine. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks for calling. It's really great to see your face. I honestly miss everyone so much. I don't talk a whole lot, so it was really great to see everyone come in. I was just like hide behind the desk, and I'm like, oh, it's all the lovely people.
Well, I miss seeing you on a regular basis too, and hopefully we'll be able to dance together and shop together and just hang out and chat together soon. Hoping that you stay safe and healthy and enjoy your
Yeah,
holidays.
thank you. I'm really quite happy and honored and grateful that you have continued to put so much work into maintaining the dance community. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, thank you for that. It's self-serving. I love everything that I'm doing and I get so much back. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Nika. We will see you at the show when this airs, and people will get to find out what you're up to, and we'll see where we go next.
Definitely.
All right.
Thanks.
Take care.
Get up off of that thing and dance till you feel better. Get up off of that thing and dance till you sing it now. Get up off of that thing and dance till you feel better. Get up off of that thing and try to release that pressure. Get up off of that thing and shake till you feel better. Get up off of that thing and shake till you feel better. Get up off of that thing and shake till you feel better. Get up off of that thing and try to release that pressure. Hit me.
That's the wiper. That's the wiper. Not a windshield wiper.
Come on, bang.
A body wiper. Bring the paper. Bring the paper. Got the
New York, I'm coming. Follow them. Los Angeles, I'm coming. Chicago, I'm coming. Miami, the Godfather coming. Alice, here I come. Gotta tell her.
No, they are.
Watch out.
Where's your collar?
Here we go. Harold, watch out.
My tailor. My tailor.
Barry White, I'm mad.
Barry who?
JC,
Barry White, boy.
John Band, here comes the man. Oh, wait a minute. I need those funky horns. Want those funky horns. I want those funky horns. Give me some funky. Give me. Good dog. Good dog, you. Off the back. Oh.
Hey!
Hey, Tanya, it's so good to see you. I'm glad you were able to find time out of your busy schedule to join me.
Yes, thank you, thank you. I'm glad you're able to find time in your busy schedule to do this.
We're all so busy lately.
Well, I'm busy. I just only am busy in this one room.
Yes, there you go.
This is the only place I am busy. It's the only place I do anything.
A busy room, yes, yeah. So I just wanted to touch base with you because I figure the people watching the show currently would be really interested in hearing what you've been up to and how things have been going. It's been quite a few months since we've been dealing with this whole pandemic and changes, and I'm wondering how things are going for you with changes to your teaching, how that's going.
Well, it's been interesting. I've actually found it to be, I mean, at first it was all kind of melded together in terms of my feelings about online teaching and my feelings about the pandemic and then my feelings about like it was all melded together and it was kind of hard to disassociate them, but I now have kind of embraced it as a challenge. I think that I'm actually learning things about teaching that I wouldn't have necessarily learned teaching in person. And I'm hoping that once we do all get back together in person, I'll be able to use some of the lessons I learned from teaching online and bring them into the in-person classroom too.
So there's a couple of pros and cons in there. Do you have any others that kind of come to mind?
So as a person who takes public transit and doesn't drive, I must say that not having to take the hour-long bus ride to the studio is kind of pleasant, much as I would like to leave this room at some point in the next year. I really am Pleased to not have to be on the bus for an hour several times a week. And my students will not be surprised to know that I have quite enjoyed the mute function on the Zoom online classes. No, I mean, in all seriousness, I do actually miss their snark and their sass. I miss it tremendously. I miss that student snark and sass quite a bit. But I found myself as a student in some of the classes, if you know that you have to go up and press unmute before you ask a question or before you interrupt, you think to yourself, do I have to ask this or can I figure it out for myself? And it's not a question I think I ask myself enough. And I think it's not because when you figure something out for yourself, you're going to learn it more deeply than if somebody tells you what it is. And so, yes, part of me is joking about the mute function, but part of me is actually serious about it. Yeah. At least that's what I've noticed as for myself as a student in online classes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Cons are, of course, that I don't get to see people in person. And I also think that there is something about having a dance space like that. This is where I go to dance. And right now, like I was saying, and I'm joking about this one room, but this one room is where I do everything. It's not just dance, it's work and other, and crocheting and binge watching, and so I miss having a space where that is kind of dedicated to that, as well as seeing everybody.
So then that brings me, because you brought up a couple of things there. How have you been passing your time? Crocheting, binge watching, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I have subscribed to yet another streaming service. I'm only on three when you count the library's Canopy. The library gives you this Canopy subscription. But I don't pay for that one, so I feel like it's a freebie.
Okay.
But so there's three. So there's been a lot of binge watching. I've been writing a lot more just to pass the time with something productive. Keeping going with Drawn to Books, the nonprofit helping kids to create comics. We're still running classes and online, obviously, and doing all that crazy stuff. And yeah, I haven't cooked this much in a really long time. It's been a little ridiculous. I'm making my own crackers, Red Sauce. I'm making my own crackers.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Sure.
I would have thought. Let's see. I've done bread, crackers. Yes. Yeah. Perfect.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Well, it sounds like you've been keeping busy and you've got a pretty positive perspective to everything that's going on. And I see that you have a beverage. I've been asking people to bring one of their favorite beverages, and I have some cranberry lemonade here. I'm curious, what are you drinking?
Well, it looks like a tumbler full of scotch, but it is not actually. This is in honor of you. This is homemade iced tea that's from the Tea Girl, support small businesses, and it's called Red Grey.
Oh.
And it's because it's a rooibos Earl Grey rather than a black tea Earl Grey. Yeah. And yeah, I thought, well, this will be in honor of talking to Red Sauce.
Oh, I love that. Support local. All the small businesses need all the help right now, for sure. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for touching base with us and getting everybody up to date on everything you've been doing over the last 75 years, it feels. 9 months. And we'll be jumping into the next performance, I assume, after this little piece. And aside from that, enjoy the rest of the show. It's really been great catching up with you, and I hope you are staying safe and healthy and happy.
Yes, you too. Miss you.
I miss you too. Cheers.
Ding. Oh boy, when you've been connected to that matrix for this long, the neck and the head are just... Anybody else feeling just rough right now? Yeah, the matrix is... I've been plugged in, I've been jacked in for too long. Okay, so let's do a little bit of getting that head to expand. Everybody join me, viewers, listeners, join us in this awesome little thing. I want you to sit and close your eyes and just imagine your head to be a balloon filled with helium. Remember that it's helium that provides the lift. The surface of the balloon rests on the helium inside it. And the neck and the upper part of the spine are the string attached to that balloon. Imagine this string to be soft as wool, especially in the neck area. And from the balloon's vantage point, the neck, the shoulders recede rapidly, much like the Earth recedes to an astronaut as they catapult into the sky. And the string just floats. And the balloon is light. And then I'm going to get you to imagine instead that just at the top of your neck, there's a water spout or a geyser. And I want you to picture your head floating effortlessly atop this column of water. And the water comes up and then flows back to the floor over your shoulders. And as the geyser becomes stronger, your relaxed head is pushed upwards, causing it maybe to bob a little bit. And find the place where the force of the water creates the best alignment for you. And lastly, just to really come out of that matrix posture, I want you to imagine all the vertebrae in your spine, from your low back all the way up to your neck. And between each of those vertebrae is a happy little marshmallow. And I want you to imagine that much like in a microwave, each of those marshmallows starts to expand, creating space, puffy, light, airy, sweet, happy space between each vertebrae as they puff up. Take a deep breath into the belly and then blow the air out as you exhale. In through the nose to the belly. One last time. And open your eyes to reality, to puffy marshmallowy reality.
Hello, Denise. How are you today? So good to see you.
Oh, Michelle, it's great to see you too. It's an unanticipated pleasant surprise.
So, Denise, since this is going to be airing on our show, on the Escape the Matrix show, which means we're trying to leave the Matrix with which we entered so many months ago, And some people may not be privy to the wonderfulness that is Denise. Please introduce yourself to those people who may not know you.
Great. Well, for those who don't know me, my name is Denise LeClaire. I'm the one who started Bedouin Beats way back in 2008. I transferred the reins of dance goodness to Michelle and Stacy at the time in 2015. So they have been carrying on the best they can until, they got slammed with this virus.
Yeah.
So if you've seen any of the past shows or Sydney Star Eyes, that was my fault. Sorry.
I thought you were going to say that's your brainchild because it was
It
fantastic.
kind of was.
Yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely.
but I'm very serious now, not.
So how have you been coping through all of this pandemic for these many, many years or months?
It feels like years, doesn't it?
Does.
Well, I live in Santa Clara County in California, which is probably the worst county in all of the United States of America in terms of coronavirus cases. I live just on Stanford campus, and it's not too bad in this area. There's pockets. It's bad everywhere. I forget what your question was. What am I doing to cope in the midst of all this madness? I'm staying home. I'm staying home. I mean, originally before this last Christmas surge, we had our little social bubbles and we would meet and 6 feet apart and such, but I don't even do that anymore. So it's home, it's the cats. I have knit more than I never knew I could, but I've been liking that. I'm reaching out to a lot of people that I may not have reached out to as much. And that has been really heartwarming. So I think that it's not that I'm a different person so much as I think my perspectives have changed on my life, on my relationships, on what's important to me. So there's been a lot of change this year, and we've got another at least 3 months left of this, maybe a little bit longer before we get the vaccine right here.
So I guess then some of the good things to come out of it would be reconnecting with people that you may not normally have had this not come up.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that human connection is, because we've been cut off from human connection, we've had a huge focus on it, right? And really focus on those connections that mean something to us, right?
Yeah. I guess there's a lot to be said for the saying of you don't know what you have until it's gone.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that the truth? Except also, in addition to that, you don't know what you have that you don't really want until it's gone. And you go, oh yeah, I really hated doing that.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I don't have to do that anymore.
Very
Why
true.
was I doing that? Not mentioning any situations in particular.
So passing your time, you're spending time with your cats, you're knitting. Any other pastime?
Yes, I'm writing down my I guess I would call it my memoirs of my time at Bedouin Beats. My time at Bedouin Beats was probably the most important segment of my entire life. And what made it so important? What was it that we did on the avenue? The community that we created blew my mind. I always knew we would create community at Bedouin Beats, but I had no idea that it would grow the way that it did and be as strong as it was. I'm getting different windows on that time period of 2008 to 2015. And it's touched me very deeply.
Yeah.
Very deeply.
Well, without your leadership, that community would not have grown to where it did in such a magical way. It's something I know I've always been grateful for, and I know that I am one of many, many, many people who can say the same. So,
well, thank you, Michelle. You're a very special part of that too, of course.
I look forward to hearing about all of the stories.
And so you shall.
So I was asking people to bring a favorite beverage of theirs, something that maybe, and I'm curious what you have brought today.
What mystery beverage I have brought?
Yes.
Okay, I hate being boring, but let's just say I'm being fundamental here. So I have a glass of the best house white right here, transparent. Yeah, it's delicious. It's satisfying and yum, yum, yum.
It's life-giving. Well, Denise, thank you so much for touching base with us and giving us an update on your life and how things are going down in California. And of course, everybody is hoping that you are staying safe and that eventually this will be something of the past.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
Sooner the better.
We'll get there. I know we'll get there.
We'll get there. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for updating us, and we will let everybody get back to whatever our next piece might be.
Okay, it's exciting. Escaping the Matrix, one can only hope.
We hope. Thank you, Denise.
Bye.
And that's our show. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been really fun watching all of the instructors and staff create something so wonderful, and I hope you enjoyed the updates of everyone as well as our special guest Denise, who it was really nice for her to be a part of the first one, and of course wanted her to be a part of this last one as well, and so everyone would know what's going on with her down in California. So it's been a fantastic ride so far. I'm curious where we'll go from this point. We have one more number that I wanted to hold until the very end because I just thought it would be a great and fun way to finish the show. It's a great piece, very creative, of course, by the lovely Tri-Devi dance troupe. So stay tuned for that, and thank you for watching. We hope to see you in our winter classes. Check out bedouinbeats.com for all the info.
When I was young, I never needed anyone. Making love was just for fun. Those days are gone. Living alone, I think of all the friends I've known. When I dial the telephone, nobody's home. All by myself, don't wanna be all by myself anymore. All by myself.
Sorry, are you gone? I still see you.